morning, everyone. This is Carol Williams with Beyond the Soundbite, and I'm coming to you live another Monday morning to talk about U.S. immigration and what has gone on in this past week. And because it is U.S. immigration, of course, stuff happened last week. So let's just dive right in. Probably one of the bigger things that happened in U.S. immigration last week is that the Department of Homeland Security decided that it was no longer going to defend the incredibly restrictive public charge rule that was put out by the prior White House administration. And by defend, I mean no longer defending in court. So when that decision was made, the dominoes fell, and the end result is that the public charge rule, the extremely restrictive public charge rule, is no longer effective. The Form 944 Affidavit of Sufficiency, which you have heard me talk about over the past several months, is no longer in play. We were waiting for the Immigration Service to give us some guidance on what to do about RFEs that were currently outstanding, applications that had already been submitted. We now have that guidance. The form has been formally taken off of the USCIS website with notes attached to, in fact, all the forms where it would have been required, most notably the adjustment of status, that the form is no longer required. And for those outstanding RFEs that are asking for the 944, the Immigration Service says we don't have to respond to them. My clients and I are taking a very conservative view. We will be responding, just reminding them that this rule is no longer in play. That does not mean that there is no public charge rule in play, because there absolutely is. We are just going back to the prior public charge rule. So if you needed a joint sponsor, a financial joint sponsor previously, then you will still need a joint sponsor. You will still need to fill out the affidavit of support. So we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We are only throwing out the I-944 form, which required a ton of financial documentation. So if you have any questions, feel free to give my office a call at Williams Immigration at 954-903-1337. And we are more than happy to help you through your public charge issues, your affidavit of support issues with your green cards. The next thing I want to tell y'all is what you probably already know, but just in case you don't, the H-1B lottery for fiscal year 2022 is in full swing. It opened up last week on March 9. It closes this upcoming week on March 25th at noon Eastern Standard Time. Do not wait until the last minute to get in your lottery entries. Remember, one entry per position at a company for the individual. Do not try to game the system and enter your individual into the lottery more than once. Their lottery submissions will be found and kicked out of the system. And for those of you that maybe are a little bit unclear on the H-1B lottery, the H-1B lottery is for 65,000 H-1B visas each year, with an additional 20,000 issued for individuals who have received a master's degree from a U.S. institution. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop a note in the comments or let me know. You can always call the office at the number below. Also, really, really big news came out last week. TPS, temporary protected status for Venezuelans, was approved for 18 months beginning March 9 through September 9 of 2022. So this will open up many Venezuelans who are in the U.S. to work authorization. So that is huge news. So we're very excited about that. And again, if you have any questions, our office is more than happy to help you with that. Last week, I talked about local USCIS office procedures in terms of going in for interviews and biometrics, and just to remember to bring in your masks, and that they are still practicing social distancing and being safe, not only for you, the stakeholder, but also their employees and anyone that, frankly, we all may come in contact with later after leaving the office. And USCIS issued more guidance last week, just, I believe, probably as a reminder, as more cities and states are relaxing their mask mandates. USCIS issued guidance last week that made it very, very clear they are still taking temperature, contactless temperature before you are allowed to enter the buildings, and masks are required throughout your time in their building. So that's very clear to understand. So even if you live in a location where mask mandates are being relaxed, please know that USCIS office buildings are not relaxing their mask mandates at this time. And that is something I will absolutely keep you up to date on. If you received a request for additional evidence, a notice of intent to deny, a denial that you want to appeal, the Immigration Service has been giving us extra time to respond to those notices. And we've been getting extra time since March 1 of last year. Currently, that extra time runs out on anything dated up into and including March 31st of this year. So we are waiting to see whether or not the Immigration Service will extend that flexibility in responding. They haven't said anything yet. They haven't released anything, but I am certainly on the lookout for that. During this pandemic, it has indeed taken longer to get documents from overseas, and also just to get documents from here within the United States. If you need criminal records, if you need birth certificates, if you need divorce decrees, those documents are just taking a little bit longer. So we are waiting to see what the Immigration Service will do and see if they will indeed extend that for another few months for us. The other thing I wanted to talk to y'all about this morning are the process of renewing your green card. So in the past, once you filed to renew your green card, you would go into your local office and you would ask for a sticker. They would put that sticker on the back of your green card, and it would extend the validity of your green card. That sticker would allow you to travel with your green card on your passport in and out of the US with no issues. That sticker would allow you to show continuing work authorization if you needed that to show to a new employer. And it was just good to have. It was, good to have and see that your green card was still considered valid by the Immigration Service. Well, they are doing away with the sticker system. And once you file to renew your green card, the new receipt notices that you receive will have language in there that extends the validity of your green card. Well, that's great, except currently there is such a backlog in simply opening the mail at USCIS and then issuing the receipt notices. So if you are renewing your green card, do not wait until 2 weeks or 3 weeks before your green card expires. You want to get that, you want to file that sooner rather than later, because right now receipts are taking upwards of 90 days to be issued from the Immigration Service. So if they are doing away with the sticker system and we are now forced to rely on the receipt notice, you've got to give yourself some extra time to actually receive that receipt notice. And for some individuals, their driver's license will expire on the same day that their green card expires. So for many reasons, it is very important that you not wait until the last minute to renew your green card. If you have questions about timing of renewal of your green card, or what that looks like, or if you need assistance with that, my office is more than happy to help with that. Feel free to give us a call at 954-903-1337. The other thing I wanted to mention to you all is that the Canada and Mexico land borders that are shared with the US are still closed to non-essential travel. They are closed until next week, on March 21st. All three governments have been reviewing this roughly every 30 days. So hopefully we will get some sort of guidance regarding the land borders that we share with Canada and Mexico in the upcoming days as to whether or not the land borders are still going to remain closed for non-essential travel. So again, if you are looking to go on spring break or vacation or to visit the grandparents and you were thinking about driving into Mexico, into Canada, that right now is a no-go. They're really looking still to stop the spread of COVID-19 across the land borders. The last thing I wanted to tell y'all about is H-1Bs, excuse me, and L-1s. Those visas are still not being processed at the U.S. consulates overseas. That restriction is set to end on March 31st. So in a couple of weeks. We have not heard any guidance. We've not heard any rumblings from the current White House administration to see whether or not it is going to extend that travel suspension for H's and L's in terms of receiving new visas at the consulates, or whether it's going to just let it naturally end. So, again, I mentioned this last week. This is going to be key, especially with H-1B cap season. We cannot have all these H's approved for individuals that are sitting outside of the country and then tell the employers, oops, by the way, we're just not going to let your employees in. So I suspect that we will, in fact, hear something from the Biden administration on this particular travel suspension soon. I know we may have employees that are sitting outside of the country waiting to get in. So hopefully we will hear sooner rather than later from the Biden administration what their plan of attack is on this. That's all I wanted to talk to y'all about this morning. I kind of wanted to keep it quick. If you have any questions, feel free to contact my office. I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration. My office number is 954-903-1337. Feel free to drop a comment below. I do look at them. I do even respond to them. Feel free to put #replay. And if you have found this information helpful, and you think someone else may find it helpful, feel free to click like and click share, and share this with friends or colleagues. Again, this is Carol Williams with Williams Immigration, and you have been listening to Beyond the Soundbite. I am here every Monday morning to let you know what's hot, what's been going on in U.S. immigration. So I will chat with you all next Monday, as I am sure we will have more immigration updates for you. Everyone have a wonderful week. Bye.